Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Herb and I welcome you to the lazy river. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you how to build the screen topper for your tank. You can make this topper any size you want, but the most important thing is that you measure your fish tank prior to cutting your pieces. And I'll show you how to do that. In this case, you'll see that the screen topper just fits perfectly on top of my tank. Now, what I had to do is I had to measure the top. Your measurements are most likely going to be a little bit different than mine, but in this case, I'm going to show you mine. Here's the tools you'll need. You're going to need a drill, a jigsaw, a hammer, a tape measure, a box of finishing nails, a clamp, and some pliers. Needle nose pliers to be exact. First, I'm going to lay my 1.5 by 3/4 inch hobby board down on the floor, and I'm going to mark at 14.5 inches. You see here I have 2 of these hobby boards side by side, and I made my mark because I'm going to clamp these together and then saw them. Once the mark has been made on the wood, I'm going to use another scrap piece of wood and line it up, and I'm going to draw across because I can get a very straight line. Some of you out there might be laughing at this, saying, well, why don't you use a square or something with a definite straight edge? This is a piece of wood that has a very straight edge on it. It's going to be basically the same thing. It doesn't matter in this instance. Next, this is where the clamp comes in. I'm going to take both of my hobby boards and I'm going to line them up together just like so. Once we have our clamp on there, we're going to tighten it up real tight. Once we have our clamps on the wood clamped tightly, we're going to want to lay our wood across a flat work surface. Now we will take our jigsaw and we will cut across the line. Notice that I don't want to ride the line, I just want to ride outside of the line as we cut. And now we will start. Now, after making the cuts, we should have 2 14.5 inch pieces acting as the sides for our topper. Now we're going to repeat the process for making the other 2 sides, marking at 14 3/4. Harry says hello. What's up, Harry? He's just chilling. Now we'll go back to the wood cutting process as we did before. Harry's wondering what all that racket is. Where's your brother? He's down here. Anyways, let's get back to the topper. After making all your cuts, you can now lay out your wood. Notice I've put the 14 3/4 inch pieces on the inside. If I were to do this all over again, I probably would have put them on the outside, because this will be the front and it would look cleaner. But this is the same design I've been following, and we're actually just going to spray paint these later and you won't really notice it. Next, this is where the drill bit comes in. You're going to want to use a 5/64 of an inch drill bit. As you can see here, it's a very small drill bit. I like to drill holes in the ends of these because it makes it easier when using finishing nails to attach them. process for both sides. Now with our finishing nail in place, we will hammer the nail down into the other piece of wood. After the cutting and nailing steps, you will see that our topper is starting to take shape. The only thing left to do now is we need to put the screen in and we need to paint it. All I use is just a glossy black cheap spray paint. These cost me 99 cents at Lowe's. Make sure you use a drip sheet for the painting process. Otherwise, you're going to end up painting the ground and the wall of your landlord's building. Make sure to apply only smooth, even coats. I like to repeat this process several times. Whilst we're waiting for the paint to dry, we can start working on our screen. For this particular topper, I'm going to cut a piece of screen that's 20 by 19 inches. The reason I'm doing that is, let me show you here. Because you see this finished topper has the screen inside of it. Now you notice how I stapled the insides. Now I want 20 by 19 for this because I want to take excess screen and pull it down in here. You see, in the first time around, I didn't do that. I did on this side, but we want to have enough screen so we're able to staple it down and it'll have a tight hold on it. We're going to be using our pliers to snip away and break in a motion like this. We're going to clamp and snip like that all the way down. And you know, it's going to be pretty easy because we have a straight line to follow. One thing I need to say about this is when you're doing this, be very careful because this chicken wire is super sharp and you could easily cut yourself. I grabbed the wrong pliers before. These are the ones that you should be using, needle nose pliers. They can get into the tight spaces very easily. Now that our screen has been cut to the proper size, we can now move into the final step of attaching the screen to the frame. Once the screen has been finished, you can now place it on top of your tank. If you're not super crazy about the screen topper, you can also opt out and make a topper made from materials such as plexiglass. These will usually retain heat, and as you can see by the moisture on the bottom of it, they will prevent evaporation as well. However, the screen topper itself is a very sleek and professional looking topper. It goes great on most aquariums. You could also use it for reptiles such as turtles or lizards or snakes. You could even use it for some other type of animals such as rodents. It's all up to you and what you want to do with it. Hi, my name's Herb and I welcome you to the Where's my mustache?